everybody. Good morning. Welcome to another session of Awaken Your Spirit. I am Julie Murphy, and you know what? I'm the money chick, but here's what I know. If you don't activate your heart and your soul to do the work you're meant to do in the world and live the life that you're meant to live, the money comes and goes, or it never shows up. So this is why we're doing these sessions with David, because David is the soul activator.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, Julie and I were talking about all the perceptual shifts that we're moving through. And that means that what I mean by that is that how our focus starts to change.
Yeah.
And as we open up and connect into our heart, into our soul, there's an alignment that happens, a congruity. And
it really is.
That all of you are like going in the same direction. It's not like the heart's one place and the mind's another. And, it's like getting a congruity, I can't say it, congruity. But anyway, becoming aligned with yourself. And, because we're going through so much change on the planet and so much change in our country and everything, that these perceptual shifts continue. And so there's always a readjustment to whatever life is handing us in this moment, in this time. And so what we think one week and the way we're aligned one week may shift with our perceptual shifts may change as new information, new things show up. So
that couldn't be more true. It's like we were just talking about an instance that happened in my world yesterday, and it's like we really have to do, like, we're changing and shifting so much these days in the moment that and information that's being driven to us, and right or wrong or whatever, it doesn't really matter. But it's just a lot of stuff and a lot of change in a very short period of time. And we're evolving and changing. And so it's like, where does it land with the version of you today?
Exactly.
Right? Then it's like, how do you navigate through that? Because, I tend to want to question, every piece along the way as to what it is that you need, and your desires, and my kids' needs, and my company, and my employees, and it's like there's layers, and it's like, how do you keep up with all of it happening so fast? And what I have found is that the only way to keep up with it is keep going inside to figure out what's true for you on an individual level. Right?
Right. So we're going, I've used this word before, and I'm going to use it again. We're going through a metamorphosis. And that metamorphosis is the transformation that we're going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And that metamorphosis is actually vibrational. And when I talk about something being vibrational, it's like the whole earth is in this process. You're
not getting out of it.
We're not getting out of it. We're on the ride. And so,
whether you like it or not,
like it or not, we are in these really powerful shifts of energy, shifts of light, and they profoundly affect us on all levels. And what it's doing is it's reorganizing our energy and redirecting our focus, and redirecting really the journey of our lives many times. So, particularly in this last year, a lot of people have moved, they've changed their lives drastically.
Right.
And, and so the thing about being settled and having everything pretty much consistently the same,
right,
that's all been thrown up in the air. And so,
literally.
Yeah. And so we're on this ride. And part of that journey is that a lot of us are now in situations where we are introspective because we're either in our homes or having a lot of time to be around ourselves and not so distracted by so much outer stuff because of the COVID thing that we're in.
Yep.
And some people do well with that. They go into this inner reflection, this inner, and really start kind of excavating, having the time for once to sit down and know themselves for a while.
Yep.
And as you go into that inner knowing, if you can allow that,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of reassess everything in your life. And so there's a real opportunity there. There are a lot of people that scares the hell out of them.
It's true, because we've distracted ourselves with so many things,
Right.
you know, whether it be eating out in restaurants or staying busy with kids' activities or, just whatever. I mean, I'm a jet setter. I love to get on an airplane and just go somewhere. And it's like when you're sitting, then start to have to feel through that process of whatever is unsettled in your world.
Right. And not only that, but it creates the time to really kind of excavate sometimes from our heart and maybe deep in our soul
It's so
things that
true.
we've overlooked, things that
Right.
are actually very important to us that we've pushed down because we're like, I don't have time for that. I don't, whatever the excuse is. And all
Right.
of a sudden something is coming up and you're like, oh my God, that's really important to me. And am I just going to blow that off this lifetime? Whatever that important thing is, whether it's that book you were going to write or that, who knows? Right.
How'd you know I was supposed to be writing another book?
Yeah, yeah, a little intuitive
Are
here.
you a little tuned into spirit? Sitting here going, where do I have the time to do that? Sometimes I'm like the school teacher to my kids, or doing these lives or seeing one-on-one clients, and then going, I so know I'm supposed to be writing another book right now. And I'm sure those of you who are watching, there's things in your world that you're being called to do, but it's like, all right, we really have to. I had somebody say to me yesterday going, there was these things that I know I was supposed to do over here, but then the energy was just pulling me over here. And I knew I was supposed to just go towards the energy, even though my whole to-do list over here was huge. And she was sitting there going, I just couldn't go to the to-do list. I had to follow the energy. And she goes, Julie, and then when I did, this opened up and this opened up and this opened up. And it was like, I never even got to any of those to-dos because those to-dos were her distraction to where her life was guiding her to go.
Mhm.
And it's really fascinating to me that I'm now witnessing people doing that. And it's so important for all of us to follow that knowing and calling and energy, whatever you call it. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. My mom is super religious and she would pull that to that is God and the Holy Spirit talking to her. And that's the direction she's going. Some people say energy and it's the universe. I honestly think it's all semantics, but it's about that inner knowing. And it's about following your heart of what you know is to be true and not distracting yourself any longer, because we're not going to be allowed to. You're going to create more suffering if you don't follow that inner knowing.
Right. And I want to add something. I don't know exactly how to talk to this because it just really has been happening to me recently. But I know a lot of people are on their Pelotons and everything, trying to get their exercise, get their hours, whatever. And
I only have 610 more hours to hit for minutes for this month.
right. And
Oh,
so I've been working out for a long time, and I work out 4 days a week with a private trainer. And I've been noticing in the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks that I literally have these kind of explosions of light going through my body. It's like, and so yesterday I'm working out, and all of a sudden I know that I have a greater capacity to lift weight, I have more strength than I usually do.
mm-hmm.
And it's almost euphoric. And so as I'm doing that, I feel my whole physical body, I'll just say, accelerating energetically. And then
Right.
I notice as I finish that, it's really affecting my mind, it's affecting my heart, it's affecting everything. I'm I'm totally in a refocus, and I'm not doing it. I'm somehow not directing this. It's like something coming through where, it's just like the focus is far more clear, and it's like, yeah, I thought I was going to do this, but actually I'm going to do this today. And so what I've learned and what I'm living is that this, for a long time I kind of separated the spiritual and energetic with the body, and then I realized it's all the same thing.
Yeah, mind, body, spirit. Sure.
Right, right. And that the body has a voice. It has a communication that wants to be heard, just as well as your heart, just as well as your soul. And that I believe in this process that we're in right now, energetically, where things are shifting,
Right.
that our physical, mental, emotion, we are in a metamorphosis, an energy cycle that is literally being triggered, and that it in itself vibrationally is like a tsunami of energy and light that, if we will allow it, is going to literally shift us into a whole new level and a whole new way, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And that maybe even what we thought we wanted before is going to shift,
Mm,
um, a shift of perception.
right.
And so it's, it's not like we're moving through life in the old way, in our ordinary way. Things are really changing, and to allow that your body's intelligence may one day wake up and go, we're not doing this today, we're going to actually do this. You go, really?
No, I've been there, done that. I completely
And you
understand
may
what you're
find that
saying.
you have forces of energy unlocking and unleashing within you that
Mhm.
you had no idea even existed.
Right.
You're like, holy smokes, where did I get all this energy? And this body seems to have an intelligence of its own,
Yeah,
and
it really
wants
does.
you to listen,
Right.
and that we may also in our dream states be literally have, as we move into these dream states, that night, where we're getting assistance from other levels of ourselves. We're
Right.
literally, you know, how vivid our dreams can be. Well, what if in those dreams, advanced levels of ourselves or advanced souls start to help us awaken up, and prepare us for the evolution that we're in now?
I think it is happening.
It's happening to me, and if it's
I mean,
happening to me,
it's
it's going.
definitely happening to me. I mean, I just, I've been sharing, over the last few months of all the things that are unpacking in my world. And it's been fascinating to me that I started to notice, that I'm able to be in the state of the observer that much more and go, wow, that's what's actually happening there, as opposed to being the reactor of what is going on in my world. And it's been fascinating to me that now that I can see it from this higher level of myself and going, oh, wow, what someone is saying about me is actually showing up in their world when I don't react or plug into it at all.
Mhm.
The universe orchestrates it and coordinates it, and it all gets taken care of. And I just, they're in a place of like, well, that was interesting, but I'm not reacting. I'm not, it's even more interesting the fact that the more I harness this skill of being the observer, and I remember Deepak Chopra years ago saying, you got to be the observer. What's going on in your life? I'm going, what in the hell is he talking about? I had no idea what he was talking about. And I'm actually living it now
Mhm.
because I can't even plug it. When people are reacting, I'm going, I literally go, yeah, I just can't plug into that. I can't plug into what's going on politically. I actually had a client a few weeks ago who actually hung up on me on the Zoom and said, "You're just way too cavalier about all this that's happening." Hung up on me, and 2 weeks later, all of his assets transferred from my company. And I was just like, wow, people are really in their suffering. And it's not that I didn't care. It's just the fact that I can't plug into the drama anymore. I
Right.
can't plug into the reactivity anymore. And this is a very sweet spot for us to find. And each one of us needs to find this place of peace, because it's profound. I feel fantastic. Like, it's because I'm no longer in other people's stuff. I'm just in my own.
Right.
And being one of 12 kids, you were always in everyone else's stuff. You know, I mean, that, that's what you were taught, being one of so many kids. And it's really, really been amazing. I've got this fire, and I've always been this reactor. And it was just like, oh, don't cross Julie because she's going to blow. Like, she's got a line. And it's funny, my kids will be like, they'll look at me and be like, ready for me to go. And I'm like, what? What? And they're just like, nothing. Because I'm no longer reacting. I'm observing their behavior and not like, saying, hey, what are you doing? But it's happening with clients, it's happening with employees, family members, kids, ex-husbands. It's really fascinating to me. And it's because, all of you that are watching, it's because I aligned with my authentic self. And I stopped. I had a really big one happen a couple weeks ago, that I realized that since my father had said to me, Julie, you should have been born a boy because you're good at things, that hardwired into me that I was looking for approval from others, approval from my kids, approval from my ex-husband, approval from my employees. Like, it was this underlying message that was happening. And every single one of you who are watching, you have something in your life that is the underlying message that's causing you to be the reactor and not the observer. So it's about just take a step back and go, what might that pattern be? What might that, you know what? I'm a feisty, independent chick. There is no way I ever thought in a million years that I was looking for approval from anybody. But then all of a sudden, when that person said that to me, I was like, oh, like, this is why I defend myself against my ex-husband all the time, because I'm trying to prove that I'm a good mom. And I already know I'm a good mom. I know I'm a good mom, but I didn't know that I was a good mom. There's a difference between our heart and our head, right?
Right.
And it's been fascinating to me. And all of you that are watching, like, I can't encourage you enough to go inside. And this is why David and I are doing these sessions, because when you shift the energy, then your life shifts. And David, with the energy that he shares with all of us during these meditation sessions, helps to shift your energy so that you can become more of the observer versus the reactor. And people will say, well, why do you work with all these people? I'm going, because you know what? I hadn't built the muscle yet to do it all myself. I needed the help from somebody else to guide me along the way while I was still building the muscle, or while, like I say, to walking across the bridge to get from who I was being in the world to where I know where I'm supposed to be. And allow yourself to walk across the bridge and pull in the help. I don't know. I just think it's so important for us to really be authentic in the world right now.
Well, I think that, things just keep accelerating, and we're in this vibrational shift, like it or not. It's the way it is. And I think one of the things, that I want to go back again to what my experience yesterday was, and that is that I think we're so used to, thinking that we have to do everything ourselves.
Right.
And sometimes the most profound things happen when we really get out of the way. And I really have a feeling that this whole process of awakening and enlightenment and everything that we're all going through, it's already coded in our DNA. It's already there.
Right.
And at the right moment, that is going to open up, and you're going to see yourself, again, I'll use the word metamorphosis, in this transformational experience. And you're like, I wouldn't believe this if I wasn't living it. But, but
Right.
So I want to go, really, really what I'm saying is that we're in a vibrational universe. The vibrations are changing drastically now, really accelerating. And so you can ride that. It's like riding the surf. And and sometimes it's okay to kind of let go of the steering wheel a little bit and just kind of go and flow with stuff. You actually might accomplish a lot more than with intense hands-on.
And you know what? You and I both have lots of fire, and we know what intense hands-on is.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we've let that the
yeah.
push drive everything. It's really interesting. I've been working on this. Let's take this into like a business aspect. I've been working on getting my book out to the world because I knew I was just supposed to offer it for free for people out in the world. And what was really interesting is we were working on this funnel, and we were buying the ads and pushing it out so that the world can have access to it. And then I started to realize then I started working with somebody new, and he coordinated it so that the people who were drawn to this stuff would be pulled in versus me pushing it to people. And all of a sudden now it's all in flow, and it's all starting to expand, and more people are getting access to it. And it's like we can take that in any example of our lives, whether it's business or our personal relationships or our personal finances, and it's all correlated. It's like we really have to be in flow means that you're not pushing. And we have been taught to push, 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 push. And that actually is not what creates the happiness in our lives.
Right.
So shall we take them all into the energy for this meditation?
Let's do it.
All
All
right,
right,
everybody,
everybody.
enjoy. Just open up and receive. Open up those palms, and you will feel the energy that David is sending us. Just close your eyes and relax, and I'm telling you, you will feel it. And then you need to
Okay,
come back
so,
and join us again next Tuesday.
so I want you to just go into your center, into your heart. Just and so I want you to experience yourself in a pyramid of 24 karat plasma light. So a huge pyramid like the Pyramid of Giza, a huge pyramid of light. The base of that pyramid are three circles of light with three mama dragons, 13 mama dragons, 13 pointed stars, 13 dream rivers. I want you to feel a force of light coming from the base of that pyramid, 13 of them, of plasma light, and feeling that light coming into your toes, your arches, your heels. Feel that force of light moving up your legs, moving into your hips. And as it moves into your hips, we're going to place the central sun at the base of your spine. I'd like you to really feel the energy of that central sun at the base of the spine. Just feel a tremendous force of energy there. We're going to start moving that light up the spine. And as we're moving it up the spine, we want to go to the heart center. Again, I want you to have an explosion of light. Really just go into your heart. We're going to place the central sun in the heart. And I'm going to just start streaming an energy that I call ecstasy into your heart center. We really want to really wake up the heart, really connect it, get it going, and vibrating. And just feel that energy starting to come alive in you. And we're going to continue bringing that light all the way up your spine. Feel it flowing into your shoulders, your upper arms, your lower arms, your hands, your fingers. We're going to place the central sun in your palms and at your fingertips. And I want you to feel kind of the radiance of that energy. And we're going to go to the brain stem. And at the brain stem, we're going to place another central sun. And feeling the energy of that central sun at the brain stem, feel your whole neurostructure starting to switch on. And we're going to connect the central sun at the base of the spine through your heart to the central sun at the base of the brainstem through a figure 8 of light. And just feeling that energy going from the base of your spine through your heart to the base of your brainstem and back. So that energy is going to continue throughout this meditation. And we're going to go to the brainstem. We're going to activate your thymus, your hypothalamus, your pituitary, and your pineal glands. pineal gland is located in the center of the brain, and it is kind of the interdimensional gateway into other levels of awareness. So we're going to place the central sun in that in your pineal gland, and I want to expand that from global to galactic and from galactic to interdimensional. We're going to switch on and open your capacity to connect into holographic and multidimensional consciousness, as well as switching on into the multiverse. Multiverse is where you connect into multiple layers of awareness and multiple dimensions, switching into the galactic levels. Now I'd like you to spiral through your third eye, out your crown, out the apex of the pyramid. And we're going to start traveling through a galactic corridor as plasma light in form. So now you're traveling as plasma light in form, merging the plasma of your blood with the plasma of the central sun, and feeling the fusion of that light and the radiance of that light. Feel it activating all the crystals in your blood. Feel your entire pulmonary system just vibrating and radiating with that light. You're going to continue through this galactic corridor. We're going to come to a galactic gateway. We're going to go into these fractals of light and into a kaleidoscope of fractal light. So feel yourself now spiraling into this beautiful kaleidoscope of radiant light. And as you're moving into the radiant light, feel your entire energy and being just being immersed in these fractals of prismatic light. And feel those prisms of light tuning and recalibrating your consciousness. Feel yourself coming into a really beautiful, coherent energy with your heart center. Feel yourself in an energy of flow, just releasing all tension and moving into flow as we're going through this kaleidoscope of light. And we're going to go from there directly into the apex of that kaleidoscope, into a radiant sun. As you go into that radiant sun, you should feel yourself in that sun with radiant light coming from beneath you and above you, spirals of light that just are moving through your entire being. And feel as those spirals of light are really opening, cleansing, clearing, and invigorating your entire being. Feel that radiance in all levels of your being and your consciousness. I'm going to just really accelerate this light now. I'm going to be still and quiet and just allow yourself to travel in this journey of light, in this frequency of ecstasy. When it's time, I'll call you back. And as we're streaming this energy, I want you to take in the word resilience. Feeling resilience vibrating through your entire body, through your entire field. So how's this feeling, Julie?
Amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I feel much, much lighter. I feel like a lot has just been lifted off, which is great. As I've got the sun shining in bright now.
Mhm.
And in Chicago this time of year, that's a rare one.
Wonderful.
Well, I certainly hope that everyone is feeling a little bit more grounded and that you feel more centered so that you can truly come from this place today of being the observer instead of the reactor, so that you can align more with your authentic self. Because remember, if you're reacting, your nervous system is hijacked on some level, and you can't operate from your heart when your nervous system is hijacked. And so it's super important to stay in this state of bliss, this state of observer. And to help get you back on track, we'll be here again next Tuesday. And by all means, if you need some extra help along the way, I made sure our websites are listed right below our pictures there. You can go to michaelgallardi.com if you wanted to set up a one-on-one session with David. And by all means, if we can help you on your journey, there's lots of tools and resources at juliemurphy.com. Much love to all of you, and I hope you have a great week.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.